Hi, everybody. It's the Plant-Based Business Hour. I'm Elysabeth Alfano. Thrilled to have you here with me again on the road. I have been on the road quite a bit lately, often at plant-based business conferences such as Future Food Tech. But this time I'm on the road in Miami for the exchange. You can see it behind me. It's the ETF exchange. That's Exchange Traded Fund. What does that mean? That means this is a conference for those who are offering services for ETFs and people who offer ETFs themselves. So for many of you who know, stop moving around here. For many of you who know VegTech Invest, I am the CEO of that company, launched it just the beginning of this year. We have launched the world's first and only plant-based innovation and climate ETF. It's called VegTech Plant-Based Innovation and Climate. Our ticker is EATV, EATV. So we thought we would take, I thought I would take that message to Miami, to the ETF conference, so I could share with people about the deleterious effects of animal agriculture on our environment, the growing flexitarian movement of young millennials and Gen Z and older people, hey, what the heck, don't leave us out, who are all interested in plant-based consumption, as well as new pressures on industry, meat and dairy industries, to better their ESG footprint. Let's face it, they don't have one. So when we talk about bettering an ESG footprint, we're talking about things like currently animal agriculture contributes 14.5% to all greenhouse gas emissions. Cars around the world produce or contribute 7%. So that just shows you the enormous footprint from the greenhouse gas emissions perspective. But it's not just that, of course. It's the pollution runoff into our water. It's the inefficient use of our land and our water. And as we have a growing population, we're going to have to produce more food to feed them. So we're going to have to use our resources more efficiently. So we're going to have to do that with plant-based innovation. It's just animal agriculture at the end of its innovation cycle. Not much more to do there. And as we are tasked with growing more food, using fewer resources, traveling food that is more nutritious in less distances, you're going to have to innovate and have technology to do that. So that's why in our ETF, we invest up and down the supply chain in the companies that are innovating to create plant-based foods, to replace animals from the supply chain for sustainable consumption. So that'll include companies like ag tech, greenhouses, and vertical farming. That'll be also the innovation and technology companies like Meat Tech 3D out of Israel that's doing 3D printing of meat, fermentation companies like Amyris and Ginkgo Bioworks. It's also going to be ingredient companies like Ingredion and Burcon Nutriscience. It's also going to be texture flavor companies like Givaudan out of Switzerland, working to make those plant-based products better. And then, of course, your CPG plant-based products. At the end of the whole supply chain, you have, of course, Beyond Meat, Oatly, Vitasoy, these kind of products. So I will just take you around to show you what's happening at the exchange. So here we go. We're leaving the very bright lights, oh my God, of the red carpet, and we're going around. If I can take you, this is very fun. The lights might be off, but now I can show you that the New York Stock Exchange is here. They're also doing a lot of interviews. You can see this is their booth. Can you see that right behind me? You've got the New York Stock Exchange logo there, and they're doing live interviews from the exchange ETF. Now let's walk over to NASDAQ, see what they're doing. I think they're actually in session. I'll just take a look and I'll turn around here. You can see that the NASDAQ is here also doing, can you see that? They're in session right there. Those bright lights maybe are blurring them out, so you can't see, but take my word for it. That is NASDAQ live in session. You see they have their, oh, you can't really see it, but my arm is only so strong, but oh, there you go. You see right behind me. She's in interviews right now with the NASDAQ. So very exciting here. You see I'm walking by all these people. So there's probably 2,000 people here. Maybe I'll take you over here where we go to Marketplace and you can see all of the people who are offering ETFs. And I feel like, gosh, my partner, Dr. Sasha Goodman, and I are championing really the ETF sector. Oh, I look so much better with all those awful lights on me. We are championing the ETF sector for plant-based. We are the first and only plant-based innovation and climate ETF on the market. In doing so, we are indeed defining and leading a completely new investment asset class. That asset class is plant-based innovation and alternative proteins. Before we existed, before our ETF existed, ticker EATB, people thought, well, maybe I can buy one company over here or another company over there, but they didn't realize that they could invest in the sector as a whole. So that's what we're doing. Is we're doing a lot of educating. I'm by myself here, but I'm doing a lot of educating at this conference about the mechanics of our current global food supply system and how we need to change that, and what kind of innovation and technology is bringing the prices down so that we can create more food using fewer resources that is more nutritious, feeding more people and traveling shorter distances. So, just imagine ultimately we're going to have vertical farms in every zip code, and we're going to have bioreactors that produce cultivated meat also for every zip code. So imagine that cities are going to be able to feed themselves in a way that they currently can't. They have to transport food from, the rural areas. So it's a very interesting dynamic as we shift the global food supply system. And that is shifting. Mark my words, we'll all have coffee together 7 years from now. We'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how the global supply system has shifted, how our food has shifted, what we eat. And even if we still eat meat, how that meat came to us and was produced will be completely different. It will be meat without the animal, and it will be without the cruelty. It will be without the environmental footprint, and it will be without polluting our water system, and it will be made closer to home and more efficiently and more nutritious. No antibiotics, no hormones. I've done the lap now. There are many more things happening at this conference, but they're behind closed doors with live speakers, and I won't interrupt them. But back to the red carpet with these awful lights. I apologize, everybody. Lighting's supposed to make you look good, but gee, this doesn't help me out. Anyways, but here I am. My arm's getting very tired. So I will conclude with you here from the ETF exchange. It's been the VegTech Plant-Based Business Hour today, and we're very excited to have launched this completely new investment asset class so that people can put their money behind the values that they share together, that they'd like to see the world shift to be a better place. And there's no greater place to make that shift than the food supply system. So with our ETF, we're doing a bunch of things. We're driving capital to those companies that are innovating for change. We're allowing younger generations, the folks who actually go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken and they're the ones who get those Beyond Meat nuggets. It's not me. I'm not going through the drive-through. It's the 24-year-olds who can't invest in venture, but they can partake in the stock market. So this product is for them, as well as the well-heeled individual who gets it, that we need to shift our environmental footprint. And we are also bringing the message to Wall Street that there's a new asset class in town, and you can indeed invest for a better future through a better food supply system. So it's a very exciting time. It's been a very busy couple of days. My arm is very tired. I'm now going to put down my computer. I want to thank everybody for caring about this subject, and I will say goodbye from Miami, the ETF exchange. Have a great week, everybody.